Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Overlooked Hotel. My name is Matt Jarbo, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies that was recently released on 4K. I don't have it yet, and I cannot find my DVD that I bought all the way back in 2005, but this movie came out October 15th, 2004, and that, of course, is Team America, World Police. America, fuck yeah. Look, maybe it's not as overlooked as I believe it is. The movie turns 20 years old in a couple of months. The 4K just came out alongside South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And while South Park and Trey Stone and Matt Parker have been around for decades, right? 4 decades. It is wild to think that not more people are talking about this movie right now. It just feels like right now is the time to kind of talk about something like Team America. Yes, it was very much rooted in George W. Bush America, but 20 years later, things ain't that much better, and America is still sometimes getting involved in stuff we really shouldn't. But the movie is such a uniquely biting satire of a number of things, right? Obviously, you've got the military industrial complex. You've got, it's almost like a Top Secret riff as well, kind of sending in an actor to do the job. You've got all of the Trey Parker and Matt Stone isms that come over from South Park. And you've got this like wildly entertaining puppet movie with one of the best soundtracks ever actually made for a movie. And it's not even just like the theme song, right? Like we all know the song. Like everyone will go, America, fuck yeah. But you get montage, which is fantastic. You're gonna need a montage, right? Like, which has popped up in one episode of South Park, as far as I remember. You got Freedom Ain't Free, it costs $1.05. You've got the whole Michael Bay song. I forget what it's called right now, but it's that one. It's like, I miss you more than Michael Bay missed the mark when he made Pearl Harbor. I need you more than Cuba Gooding needed a bigger role. He was excellent in that film. All I can think about is your smile and that shitty movie too, 'cause Pearl Harbor sucked, but I need you, right? It's a classic. It's an absolute banger of a movie because this was meant to very much parody and satirize movies done by people like Michael Bay, right? Giant over the top films that are just steeped in American propaganda. It really is like jingoistic nationalism to like the nth degree, but done in such a way that with puppets, because no one's ever going to look at puppets and think this is serious. Never mind everything involving all the celebrities that were like made fun of in this movie. Obviously the Matt Damon, which is funny story about the Matt Damon thing. The Matt Damon thing was actually kind of a gaffe because they know Matt Damon and they're friends with Matt Damon. And so they just wanted to make fun of Matt Damon, and that's how they did it. And he apparently really liked it. Right. Then you've also got Alec Baldwin, and Alec Baldwin being like the main, Film Actors Guild star of the movie. He wanted to voice himself. And this is also coming off of him voicing Leonardo in the very short-lived but completely overlooked, underrated, and godly Clerks the Animated Series, where, he wanted to play himself in the movie, and they turned him down because they thought, look, we're parodying everybody. We don't want like you to voice your character. It would be really funny, and I think now would be super meta and hilarious, given everything that's kind of happened with Alec Baldwin. But really, it's one of those things where you kind of have to go with them on that one. When Team America came out, I distinctly remember. So I worked at a drive-in movie theater when this movie came out. And when my boss calls me the day the movie comes out, we got it at the theater. And as he goes, oh, hey, I beat you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes like, I beat you. I went and saw Team America World Police today. Did you? And I'm all like, no, because they didn't do a midnight show the night before, and I just didn't get the chance to go see it that morning. I was going to go see it the next day with my friends, and he was like, ha 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 ha. The reason why he did this is kind of an old thing. when we worked at a drive-in, when I worked there for a long time, and all of us love South Park. All of us would watch South Park. All of us would talk about the episode week to week. Somebody would buy the seasons on DVD. We'd all pass them around. We watched stuff like basketball. We watched, I don't think they watched Cannibal the Musical. I definitely did, and that's another overlooked classic. Same with baseball, actually. That's very overlooked in my opinion. But we just, Orgasmo was a big thing. Like when I bought that DVD, we shared it around. This collective I worked with for years, these guys are like my work family. We love South Park. But I also love going to see movies. And even though I worked at a drive-in movie theater and I could go for free, and oftentimes was paid to watch these movies, I would still on Friday mornings go out and go see a movie that I wanted to go see. Like, even if we got it there, I would still race out to go see it, pay money to go see it. And like my boss, my other manager, the owner of the company, my coworkers would all give me crap because I would always run out, pay money to go see movies when I could see them for free at work. So in this particular instance, because my boss was a gigantic South Park fan, he actually rushed out day one, first day, first showing, middle seat with popcorn and soda. And this dude's like, by this point in time, is in his mid 50s. He's in his mid 70s now, but he was in his mid 50s then. And he made sure to rush out to go see this movie so he could lord it over my head. That is the kind of person I worked for. Jealous little bastard. But we got the movie. I still saw it the next day, right? Loved it. Went in, and we all just know the songs. We all knew the music. By the end of the time we had it there, we were laughing our asses off. We watched every showing of it. This movie is such a classic in so many ways because, for one, it lampoons Hollywood in a way that they need right now more than ever. More than ever does Hollywood need to pull its head out of its collective sphincter. South Park was really great and is still really good at holding their feet to the fire. However, after a quarter century of doing South Park, it kind of makes sense that some of that satire, some of that sarcasm, some of that criticism is going to kind of fall on deaf ears. We all know George Clooney can be a smug guy. When they made fun of him on South Park for having the smug cloud, level 5 George Clooney, I think is what they called it. It was very much like something that would work for that, but now it might be seen as old hat. But I think something like a Team America 2 right now would be a really interesting thing for them to do. It would be a really interesting move for them to make because you could easily satire a lot of the world. You could make fun of our current political climate, right? Right now, we're in an election season. It's a giant douche versus a turd sandwich. I mean, that joke from Bush and Kerry from 2004 still stands to this day, 20 years later, right? We are at that time when the cyclicalness of the satire comes into play and it works out well. But another thing about this movie that's wonderful is literally they got the director of photography, Bill Pope. They wanted to shoot this movie like it was an action film. Bill Pope did Darkman, Army of Darkness, Fire in the Sky, Clueless, Bound, Gridlocked, Zero Effect, which is another overlooked movie I'll talk about. I got the DVD behind me. He was the director of photography on The Matrix, The Matrix Reloaded, The Matrix Revolutions, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Scott Pilgrim. And right now, he's currently the director of photography on How to Train Your Dragon, the live action movie, right? And they shot this movie like it was a Michael Bay film, like it was a big budget action film. They had the props, were oftentimes just items that were you can look in the background and you can see they've got goldfish when they're in Durkistan, and you see one of the women walking around with a bucket on her head. She's got goldfish crackers in there. There's quarters, the prop department had a great deal of fun working on all this stuff. But then even the costumes, oddly enough, were really expensive. I think one of the ones that Liv Tyler wore, or maybe it was Janine Garofalo, cost $1,200 for just a marionette puppet costume. I don't know if that was just one costume or if they made other ones, generally, but they spent so much money. They spent $32 million on Team America World Police, and apparently it only grossed 51 million. But the movie itself is just, it's a love letter to stuff like Thunderbirds. I mean, I don't know if kids today would fully understand that, but like boomers 20 years ago would absolutely recognize and understand and relate to Thunderbirds. I mean, that's something that's like well beyond even my years, and I'm 42. It's crazy what they did with this movie, but it's amazing. It's really amazing, and it's one that I would love to see them do more with. I think they realized that it maybe isn't like they maybe did a bit off more than they could chew with it, I think, a little bit. But in part, one of the things that's great about that is that they wanted to destroy like every set they had. So there's a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction. Kim Jong-un, right? Or Kim Jong-il. Sorry, I remember it's been 20 years. The I'm So Ronry song is freaking hysterical. The twist at the end of the movie is hysterical. All that stuff is great. And look, the problem though is that you got some people these days that will use the Film Actors Guild as a bit of an attack on SAG, and they do it to be cheeky. They do it to be very, dickish. But in the context of the movie, it's funny, because it shows you like how smug and removed from society and how kind of isolated and insulated these people are. And believe me, I worked in Hollywood for a couple of years. I worked at a flower shop that sold flowers to the stars, and I saw a lot of this kind of stuff. Anyway, man, Team America World Police, great movie, overlooked film. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. My name is Matt Jarbo. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Thank you again for watching. And give me a movie you like that's overlooked that you think I might enjoy. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out.